The craziest man in Japan? What? The whole country? Probably not. It's probably the game show hosts. Is back putting crazy sparring footage out. And for context here, Yuki Yoza is a K1 lightweight champion, 63 kilograms. He's sparring Glory welterweight champion, who's 77 kilograms. You've got to give credit to Yuki Yoza because he does put sparring videos out where he's blasting people nowhere near his level, but he'll also put the sparring videos out where he's sparring someone way bigger and he's going hard. Someone thought I was dissing Yuki Yoza for this, and like, nah, Yuki Yoza's boss. I've got nothing against Yuki Yoza. So Yuki Yoza, much shorter. He's got his hands really high. He has a very hands-high style anyway. And what you find is people's guard tends to raise up more towards the forehead when they're fighting these taller people because that taller guy, he's going to be punching down to him. And Chico Kwasi, he's using that jab. He's keeping his distance. He's got a little bit of a longer stance to accentuate that range. He's using a long guard. What he did there was he combined the long guard with movement. He didn't just use it statically because then that allows people to slip inside and outside. Yuki Yoza really looking for that leg kick as he jabs. It's hard to jab without exposing your leg to the calf kick, the inside kick. And even though Yuki Yoza is much shorter, that calf kick, that inside kick, it can still land if the guy steps in on the jabs, and then you can kick the leg whilst the weight's on the leg. Yuki Yoza trying to slip to move in. He uses like a little push there to make an angle for a body hook, but Chico Kwase has the range to see it. He kind of pushed him away, which gave him the sight and the vision and the time to react to that body shot, screw shot, uppercut. There's a 1-2 from Chico Kwase. You could see because of the weight difference and because Chico's a good hitter, that even if it hits the top of the head, even if it hits a guard, it really displaces the stance of Yuki Yoza. He's using that long frame again. Yuki Yoza trying to get glove to glove, but when he does, normally Yuki Yoza is just a tank and will obliterate anyone. But when there's like 14 kilos of weight difference, it's probably not going to have the same effect. He calf kicked really well after Chico Kwasi jabbed and then pivoted. He left that calf exposed. A really good time for that calf kick as someone pivots. And there, Chico Kwasi doing really good work with not ending with the hook because that allows a shorter man to get inside, but he'll throw his right hand and then throw a more straighter shot, more like a screw uppercut or like one up the middle, or even just a straight jab again, rather than letting him get inside by throwing a wide hook. There's a wide hook there, but it's at a bit of a longer range. Yuki Yoza trying to step in. We don't really see Yuki Yoza establishing his punching combinations as much because the more you throw combinations, the more the hands are away from the face. And if you do take a shot in that situation, you're not well braced. There's a good left kick from Chico Kwasi using that lead hand, lead side. Generally, if you are taller than your opponent, you'll probably be using your lead hand. Your lead side keeps that longer distance. Yuki Yoza hitting that inside kick kind of hits a shin, Jan Blachowicz style. Really good thing for the taller guy to do as they get inside. Instead of trying to still throw a kick, which allows the shorter guy to get inside with punches, he switched it up to a knee, a right knee. There he's throwing his left leg again. Tapping away. Chico Kwasi not going like insane. He's still throwing hard. Yuki Yoza trying to step in, trying to establish the low line attack. It just shows how long the low kick is, that even with this massive height size discrepancy, the low kick is still one of the longest weapons in the game. Yuki Yoza trying to step back in here, using his left leg. That also kind of works for the short guy when that left leg's there. That left leg's also quite close. It doesn't have to cover as much distance as the rear hand. So even for the shorter guy, that lead side's an important part of the game. Yuki Yoza hitting that calf kick. Kind of slightly turned out by Chico Kwasi, getting a little bit of a check. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation on this every single time. I'm surprised they're not called Yuki Yoza Spooky Gyoza. There's a really nice kick. Both of them kicking the back leg. A lot of like Kyokushin influence off of that. If you watch Rico Verhoeven's fight, he'll kick the back leg. And there's a Yoza kick off the lead leg. That's one of Yoza's most quirky kicks. He'll kick the back leg with the ball of the foot. There, Chico kind of hits an inside kick and then steps down with the right knee. Really good weapon when it's in close like that. Kind of both taking the breath here, figuring out how they're going to either keep or cover the distance. There's Chico keeping the distance with that right teep. That looks like a horrendous amount of distance to cover. He's using that jab again. Yuki Yoza taking them on the gloves or just the top of the head. He's fine to take them on the top of the head because he doesn't care about his brain cells. He's got enough to spare. Probably all that oily fish in the sushi is doing wonders for his duodenum. Anyway, he's stepping back in, trying to cut him off. It's a big space to cut off, much bigger than a lot of the kind of kickboxing rings you get in these mat space, which would favour the longer guy. Jab to the body. check hook there. Such a good combination, jabbing to the body and check hook. Just go watch Alex Pereira versus Sean Strickland. That combination again, inside low kick, the inside low kick off balances him, and then he steps in with the right knee. Really nice combination. There Yuki Yoza. I'm gonna have to go back for that. Yuki Yoza is like a boss at manipulating people's guards here. He uses his lead hand to touch, then just scoops it across outside, off balances him, a little bit of an inside foot sweep, tries to establish his own kick, but he ends up out of range, and Chico just touches him with the toes on the end, and Yuki Yosa smiles because encephalopathy can't even spell it. Anyway, he's moving away, touching that jab. That was a nice, like, long kick. I think he hits it off the body shot as well. He's hitting, long body kick, keeps the distance, hitting that body hook, not giving up the range inside, still using that body hook. This is kind of the thing that happens with knees and body hooks, body uppercuts, when someone's that tall, is that they keep traveling for a lot longer. They've hit the target, but they keep traveling through. And there's Yuki Yosa hitting that outside swoop. Kind of hazy in terms of the kickboxing rules, but he will off-balance people and then just step in, often with a left kick. Sometimes he goes right uppercut into this outside reap, or just glove to glove outside reap, and then he'll hit this left kick, either to the body or head. He hits the body there. A long way to reach up if he was going to go for the head. Big 1-2, and Yuki Yosa just walks forward. Calf kick again. It just shows how much the calf kick is applicable, because when you've got a good jabber, part of the reason why it's so good in MMA is because people started to jab much better. People improve the boxing. Nice combination there. 2 hooks opens the door for that lead uppercut, and they're both pushing away at each other. Yuki Yosa again not extending his hand combination to the way you normally see him in the spars. There's lots of single kicks, because when he's throwing those big combinations, he's going to take his hands away from his face more, and he won't be braced for the shot. Because he's fighting such a big sizable hitter, he has to just fully commit to bracing the shot, really not opening up from that glove high guard kind of stance. Touching gloves, more brain damage please, let's just get a drink of water and a lean on the wall. Yuki Yosa, he's a boyo for posting this kind of stuff as well. He doesn't just post when he's piecing people up, he was posting when he was having brawls with Takeru. I don't know how much to do that for the clicks, or how much is that's the real training. But he'll post up his big rounds with big people here where he might, considering the discrepancy, he's doing really well. But it is a tough round. Let's get into it. Enough walking around in circles. Every time between spars, people walk about 8 laps of the ring, getting their steps in. It's just part of the game. Long jabs, little inch jabs without the step. If you always want to commit and throw a big jab from your normal guard, sometimes it can be easy to counter because they've got more time to react to it. And then when you step, you're stepping into their overhand. So he's keeping that long guard and just doing inch jabs. Not the most powerful, but they keep people off balance and they keep the range. Ripping 2 shots to the head and then going to the body. Yuki Yosa kind of clipping him with the body, with the low kick. Stepping back into 2 body hooks. Really nice. So a lot of Kyokushin style things. They land the low kick, step down, body hook. Body hook there from Chico. Stepping in, low kick. Gets his stance back nice and quick and doubles the body hook. It's kind of just hard for him to reach the head. Instead of going body hook, head hook, he just goes double body hook. Going to be very hard to reach the head. I think that was a double punch from Chico. And he's just manipulating it with these straight punches. Always manipulating the guard. That's the thing that you can see, especially in kickboxing with the big gloves. If you've got one glove on top of theirs, it's going to manipulate the guard. It's going to keep them off balance. And it's going to prevent them from throwing another shot off of that side. So you can kind of limit their defensive responses, their counter responses. Another reason why Yuki Yosa is having to rely so much on just these single kicks, because always one hand's tied up. So his counter options, he's going to have to kick. There's a double punch. He's starting to bring out some Streets of Rage, Street Fighter moves, double punch. And then he landed just a normal punch after. That's the thing about doing something weird. If you do something weird, you might be able to just ping something in. Quite standard afterwards. You do a weird spin, a 1-2 might land. You do a weird spinning back fist, a left hook might land. Something weird, step down. Like the Conor McGregor 2-touch fancy kick, step down, and then just pings up one in the middle. Moving along, high guard from Yuki Yosa, stepping in, they get close. It's very hard for Yuki Yosa to actually, once he gets in that range, to throw his hands the way he normally throws his hands. Ooh, that's a bad leg kick to the back leg. As he raises his knee, he gets pushed all the way over his center of balance, and then gets kicked in that back leg where it's fully extended and he can't brace. But he does finally get inside, but he can't manipulate Chico's base because Chico's so solid, Chico's so strong that it's hard for him to actually get his balance to even throw a single shot because Chico's always manipulating him, putting his hand on the top of the head, And then if Yuki Yosa tries to swing over, that shoulder's in the way. Teep again. Nice relaxed stance. A little bit longer stance from Chico. Yuki Yosa standing in tight. He mixes the levels on his jab, does Chico, going to the body. Makes it very tricky work. Very tricky work. A lot of distance to cover. Something about being a little bit wider as you can. Lean your weight more on your front leg so you've got more distance to pull back. More of that safety net. You know, if your weight's 50-50, it's going to be a struggle to pull back. Question mark kick to the back leg. Very interesting. Chico steps back 2 times, and then it's like he doesn't take that third step back. When he sees Yuki Yosa oversteps, that's when he hits that 2-1. 2-1, brilliant combination. And if you're wanting to keep your distance, 2 and then 1, stops him swinging around, stops him stepping inside the hook. 2-1 again. 2-1, underutilized combination. Then Chico's starting to whip it up a little bit, throw some harder shots. Maybe taking a little breath between and getting back to that long guard. A little stance switch, but it's more just to give the false sense of distance. Even if a stance switch and there's no actual firing off of it, no actual movement, you switch stance and you step back, just giving them a false sense of distance if someone's trying to cover that distance. There's 3 rounds. There's a few more, but that'll do for today. If you like the stuff, I don't post any exclusive stuff on Patreon. I scrapped the whole $3.50 thing. It's literally just $1. It's literally the kind of Jim Sterling. If you like the shit, it's there. But I don't have the time commitment to post exclusive Patreon shit. So if you want to check that out, check it out. I don't care. I lost the point of what I was going to say. CTE bless.